this this trading strategy is like a simple one. It's like a swing trading strategy where I just use 3 moving averages and I'm buying and selling. What I'm going to do, this account, I've only set up this account now 2 months. Well, it's only in 1 month. I've actually had this account 1 month, right? And basically it's not, like tiny profits. When I deposited 5K in this account, at the moment I am up 690 just in 1 month there. There's another account here now. This account, this guy from America, he said he want me to teach him, but he said he's been trading, he's been just losing money all the time. So basically, so I've moved using the same strategy as well. I've been using the same strategy there as well. Yeah, the same strategy. And basically he's I'm trying to get, because he said he has never been profitable. So he had like 200 and something pounds. I said, leave it. I said to him, just leave it. Let me deal with it for you. Let me sort it out for you. Let me make you back some money. So, I've been just killing it at the moment for him. And, and he's doing really well, so I'm going to get it back up for him. And then I've got another account with another lady now as well. Okay. All of this money that you see here, this 1,092, it's all profit, so all profit for her. She withdrew all her money because, she said she's got some other stuff to do. So, so I've been because I've only got a 1,000 pound account sort of thing, I'm only doing 0.1. But if you notice on this one here, right, I am doing on this one because it's a 5K account, because initially when I did the research on this thing, right, when I did the research, I had the 100,000 pound account that I was practicing, and I did it. Then after I've done a 100K, then I did a 50K, then I did a 25K account, and I did all of those practice, right? And so I use exactly the same amount, because on a 100K account, I was making roughly, this is 5K. It's almost like if you do 5,000 into 100K, it's that times I was actually put. So my lots were like 0.25. Of course, you're going to make a lot more money, but that's if you're going to put a 5K, you're going to put 100K in the account. I can then put bigger size. But because it's only a 5K account, now I'm only doing 0.3 lots. Okay, let me see if I can find any trade now to show you how simple the strategy is, right? You always make sure that this bit here is 0.03. Right? I'm not looking for any candlestick or anything. All I want to see is that it's at a certain point. Okay, so that's okay. Let me see where that one is. Okay, so here's where the market is, right? What I'm going to do now is all I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to sell and then drag it down to this. Yeah. And let me tell you something. I've got so much confidence in this strategy because guess what happened? I have never, on the demo account, I'm not losing. I'd never, even when the market goes down, I'm so confident that the market is going to come back, if that makes sense. And this is all I'm doing. I just draw it like that and pull it. Okay, now at the moment, there's still some trades there. Now I've got to follow the rule, right? And the rule is that, you don't take the trade if it doesn't, the signal doesn't set up. And all I'm doing is dragging and pulling. That's all I'm doing, dragging and pulling. Yeah, that's it. If I don't see the setup, then I'm not taking the trade. I've got to see the setup, okay? Let me see. I'm just waiting for this thing to load. Okay, now I can see a setup. I take the trade. This is it. That's as simple as that. And then pull it up to these moving averages. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Yeah, nothing else. Okay, just looking for more opportunities. Just waiting for this thing to load. Again, look, this is all I'm doing. Basically pull. And all, if you notice here, it's like 4 pounds, 5 pounds. In Jamaica time, I was every look will make a muckle. Or you understand? So that's all I'm doing. I'm just dragging and dropping. That's it. Nothing else, And remember, this strategy, I only use this strategy for the majors and the minors. I never use it. Yeah, I never use it at all with the exotics. Now I'll talk to you about the majors, the minors, and all of those things as well. Okay. Now here we go again. Let's look again. right? I'm waiting. Okay, yeah, here's an opportunity. And look, it's just as simple as this. I see an opportunity and I take it, okay? And that's the beauty of this strategy. It's just, it's a simple one. Look, there's nothing there. Now, but sometimes what happens is, you get bored. And then what you do is you basically think, okay, there's no trade setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically go on to the exotics. Now, what you've got to make sure that you do, right? You've got to make sure that you follow your rules to the T. There's one thing about trading. If you're not willing to follow your rules, right, then trust me, things aren't going to work for you. It's going to be bad. So one of the things you've got to do, you've got to learn to follow rules. You've got to learn to stick to rules. You understand? That's the key. There's so many people out there so they've never had a profitable trading account. And when I take on their trading account and I trade it for a few months and show them that, look, it's not fake. I used to believe that trading was fake. I didn't believe that trading was real. You understand? I'm looking by the end of this month, which is the 10th, in the next 20 days, I'm looking to cash out of this account £1,000 because I'm looking for 10% a month. That's what I'm looking for. Now, if somebody's going to tell you that they can earn you 30% a month, let me tell you something, that's a difficult feat. And 10% a month is a really good setup, because what I want you to do is I want you to compare trading like with your bank. That's what I want you to do. I want you to compare trading with your bank. No, your bank is not going to give you 10%. There's nothing out there that's going to give you that 10%. You understand? So I just want you to be realistic. Don't think that you're going to basically can make 50, 60% a month on your money. If you try that, you would lose every single penny in that account. So it's really important that you set up a trading plan and that you sort of do exactly what you've written in a trading plan. But of course, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to show you all of that. Okay. Right. What's happening here now? And sometimes there's a delay here. Let me see, where am I at? Where is it? Okay. So this is all I'm doing. I just drag and drop. Look, the trade setup is there. And then I take the trade, 14. Okay. So this is one of the trading strategies that I'm actually launching. And I would love a lot of people to come on board with this strategy and, and to want to participate in doing this one. But it's I'm doing really well at it at the moment. And look, I got another setup here. But remember, you only do this with the majors and the minors. I'll talk to you more about the exotics, right? Okay. And one of the reasons why this strategy will work with the majors and the minors is because they fluctuate so much, and they just come back. And I'm not, but also you can't be trading with scared money. You can't be trading. If you trade with scared money, then it's not going to work. It has to be money that you can afford to lose. If you can't afford to lose it, then don't trade it. And that's one of the realities of trading. If you're not willing to lose it, then don't trade it. Now, I'll put on those trades, right? And then I look and I'm saying, okay, I'm looking here. I've got £704 worth of profit in less than a month. You understand? 10%. That's roughly let me see, that's 10% is £500. So if I get if this thing goes up to £1,000 by next week, right, then I'm taking my £1,000, I'm closing every single one of them, and I'm starting again fresh and I'm taking out my money. One thing you must do, and this is something I'm going to tell you guys, always take your profit out. Take your profit out and then start again with a 5K, because you will have respect for the money that you've taken out. Yeah, and that's what I'll be doing with this. I'll be taking out my profit at the end of every month. If it's 5%, I'm taking it out. If it's 10%, I'm taking it out. If it's, well, once I get my 10%, I'm good. You understand? If it's 5%, but it comes so at the end of September, right? If this thing get to If this thing get to end of September, get to 1,000, then I'm going to take the 1,000 out. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm going to do. But then say, for example, next week, this thing gets to 1,000, then I'm taking it out. But say at the end of September, though, this thing gets to say £500, I'm going to take the 500. Because what I want is I want to have a clean sweep every month. And that's what the strategy is doing, because, you know, the majors and the minors, they fluctuate so much to ebbs and flow, up and down all the time. And that's the reason why the strategy works. It works on that premise. Now, this here, let me show you. These here are what we call, let me show you what we talk about. We talk about the minors and the majors, right? The minors, the major currencies, the GBP USD, the New Zealand USD, the Aussie USD, the USD CAD, the USD JAPI, the USD Swiss franc, and the USD Hong Kong dollar. Those are the major currency. Then we've got the minors. Now, these are the minors. And why they call the minors? Because there's not a lot, right? Of like Swiss franc, they're not like a major player like the UK, or the US or the US or Europe. You understand? So like New Zealand and Australia and those other countries, they're big countries, but not as major like a US GBP. Now, the exotics, now, let me tell you one day, and let me tell you, this is one of the biggest problems. Yeah. I know that my rules says for this trading strategy, for this particular thing, I am not supposed to, right? I'm not supposed to do any exotic trading. No, I went on, and when I went on to it, right, I didn't see any. So let me look. And because, okay, this is another thing as well. Because this person's account, right? This person's account is only £565. For that one, I'm only trading the major. I don't do any other minors or anything else. This strategy only works with the majors and the minors. I don't trade anything else. I only trade with the major. Okay. Now, so that's it. So I only do that. Now, what I do is I'm now gonna check. Let me show you now. I'm only gonna use like 0.01. Let me see if I can find any setup for this one. Okay, right. So what I'm gonna do, I've got one, and then I take it, right? If you notice there, that's only $1.80, $1.80. This person's from America, $1.84. Okay. Okay. And that's all. Now, some people look at this and say, oh my God, there's no stop loss. But because we're so confident in the strategy, then I don't have to worry about that. And also the size of the trade that I'm taking, it's a good, it's not too big, it's 0. I'm doing 10 pence for every movement, but of course I'm going to share it to you all the different bits, there's, okay. So, yeah. Okay, and that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. If I don't see a trade setup, but of course, I'm going to teach you to see what these setup looks like. So there we go. I've taken some trades now, and all I'm going to do, I'm going to build this account so you can see, that this, that you can see that someone is profitable, and I've made him over 200 odd pounds on this account so far. Yeah, and this person, I've made them over £1,200 on their account. Okay, this account as well, if you notice, 0.01 lot. But I do, because it's over £1,000, then I'm gonna do I'm only, actually, let me see I've been doing 0.01 because I'm not going to be risking big. Because if it was a 100K account, then I would be doing like 0.25. Yeah, so £2.50, is it £2.50? Yeah, for every movement sort of thing. So therefore, with 100K, of course, the profit is going to be substantially more. I'm telling you, man, I can't, trust me. When I meet up with this strategy and I practice it and I perfect it and oh my God, I spent so much time sleepless. But what you've got to do is you've got to do this 3 times. 3 times a day, I look at the market. So you look at the market at 8 in the morning. So just before I get to work, I look at the market, right? And then I look at it again at 3 p.m. UK time. And then I look at it again at it's 10 p.m. when there's a new market starting, right? 10 p.m. at night. But then I'm like, there's what we call this spread. and the spread is wide. So it costs me a lot of money. Let me show you something here. Just now, to get into these 10 pence per point, it cost me 80 pence to get in. That's what we call the spread. Okay, that's what it costs, the spread. Now, I basically, right, let me see. I'm not going to basically jump on any trades if I'm going to pay a lot of money to get in. Yeah, so if you notice here, there are two lines here we've got. We've got this red line and this green line. That's showing us the gap between this, and that's what you pay the broker for placing a trade on their account. Okay, so let me see, let me see what the spread is like for this Hong Kong dollar. Now the spread is roughly, yeah, can you see that spread? Because Hong Kong is not a fluid market per se. No, that's a trade that I could take, but I don't really like that Hong Kong business. So I've never really taken trades in Hong Kong. And this other one up here, which is, yeah, and the Polish zloty, I'm not into anything within the Polish zloty as well. So if I drag and pull, you can see, look how close this, so there's some tight spread on this market, some really tight spread on this market. So you don't want the spread to be huge, because of course the broker must make some money at some point, right? So therefore, that's how the broker is going to make his money, right? Now, so I've been sharing with you this particular strategy. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to be pausing for about 5 minutes, and you can ask some questions, okay? Yeah. Now, indices basically it doesn't ebbs and flow. Indices is like a straight line. Let me go and show you. Let me go and show you what this indices look like. Okay, right. Okay, so let's take what we call the Nasdaq. That's the one that oh my god, that one killing me, man. Just where is that Nasdaq? The US 100. Okay, now let's look at this now. Can you see that? You want something that's going to ebbs and flow. You see, this is almost like look, this is almost like, look at what we've got there. You see what I'm saying? If I was to take, say, this one here and show you, you can see it goes up, down, up, down, up, down. You understand? It goes up and down, up and down. You see, it go up, then down, then up, then down, then up, then down. You see, we got this goes up, then down. You understand? Within this period, it goes up and down. And when it goes down, the overall thing is that, so I wouldn't chance it I wouldn't chance it. And I know some people have got preferences that they want to trade, but you know what? Forget about the preferences. Think about the money that you're going to make. That's really what you want. Don't worry about indices. You understand? I've got other strategies you can use for indices, but I'm saying, nah, I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. Any other question, guys? Any other question? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do then, guys, what I'm going to do is, if I go to this, and what I want you to do for me is to type in the chat, right? Why are you here today? Type in the chat for me, why are you here today? So type in the chat for me, please, why are you here today? I'm just gonna, a lot of people see trading as something where they're just gonna make some big money and that's it. It doesn't work like that. I've got a nurse inside here, and the nurse basically she had to go and get her qualification, right? And after she get her qualification, she has to train. And after she finished training, then she has to basically then go away and practice on some people and so on. So it's a journey. But people feel like they can just take some money and put in an account and trade it. Let me tell you something. Trading have a way of. I remember I made over 14K in 2 weeks and lost it all in a couple of days. So it's about discipline. It's about respect. It's about treating it as a job, not as just some thing that you don't that you just do. It has to be treated with respect and see it as an income, and you're going to have that flow. Okay. So Maya, to learn how to trade Forex, I've opened an account, but losing money. So I've stopped. I just want to financial free. Now, Maya, let me tell you something. This one thing I want to tell everyone, right? Is that financial freedom is not, you won't really get financial freedom just through trading. You're gonna need to have additional income. It could be properties, it could be doing an additional job. It could be a service that a skill that you're really good at that you share with other people, right? Also, in terms of financial freedom, sometimes financial freedom is not even about money. Because if I was to say go to Gambia right now and was to say live there, it would cost probably about £600 a month, would give me a really good lifestyle. I would be able to have an helper and all of those other things, you know. And the fact that, like, if you buy that property, or you build your own property, and you don't have any rent or any rent or any mortgage, then you're good to go. And also, there's no gas and electric like in England. No, of course you've got electric, but no gas. You understand? So, of course, the electric will be used because it's a very hot country. But for me, I'll be like just going on the beach, just watching the wave. That for me is financial freedom. I'm able to earn £600 a month and be able to just relax and not do a lot of work. And I can work when I want to. So financial freedom sometimes is different for different people. But what I don't want you to do is to think that through trading, because then you put too much strain in yourself, you put too much pressure in yourself, because you're saying, I want that big break. And if we continue to think that we want that big break, then what will happen? You'll find you end up making bad decisions. And I've made lots of bad decisions. At one point I saw in my trading account over £230,000 that I moved from 60K. I almost put a rope around my neck. That's so bad. I wasn't able to sleep for a few days. That's so bad it was, because I'm like, look how far but to be honest, mentally, I wasn't ready, because I didn't do the courses, like the growth mindset courses, read books like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and so on and so forth. I didn't have a clue about those things. When I found out about Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and I jumped on the phone and I called my sister in Jamaica, and I was telling her about it. She's like, "Oh, I've got one of those books already." And I'm like, "Jesus, sis, you've got one of those books and you couldn't even share it to me, man." And I was there, and she said, "Okay, that's so her partner, because this young man in Jamaica, he set up his own loan firm." And I'm like, I've got I've got degrees, and this man has no qualification at all, but yes, still he's able to set up. What is happening here? What is he doing? But he wouldn't share it with me. So it took me years, to sort of understand certain things. Of course, I'm a hard worker, but I wasn't working smart. I needed to have been working smarter. And books like Think and Grow Rich helps you to create that growth mindset that you need in order to make that successful journey onto the next level. Okay. Now, let's look at so my goal, right? And remember, this is what I'm doing here is going to be over the next couple of weeks, because I need you to sort of see what trading is all about, learn some skills, put on some trades and so on. And if this is something that you want to do, then you say, look, Marlon, teach me how to do it, and of course, as I said, I'm going to, a reasonable price. I'm not going to be killing anyone. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you 2 or 3 different strategies. And then it's up to you then to say, look, and then if I sort of look at a group consensus and said, which of the strategy you'd like me to teach, then we'll focus on that one. But also what I'll end up doing sometimes, and that's what I did with my last cohort of students, I taught them 4 different strategies. But to be honest, some of them wasn't up to it because it was just too much. But I don't want to make the same mistake again. So what I'll do is I'll try and do it based on the group needs, really. So my thing is to share my knowledge to reduce the number of people making similar mistakes in the future and to help people make an extra income from trading. Yeah, that's the ultimate. That would really mean a lot to me. If I can actually complete this course with you guys, you then come on board with me. I then show you exactly the steps you go through. We, probably for the base of the strategy you want, it probably take us about 5 weeks to learn it. And then another 5 weeks of trading on your own. You come back for one lesson with me. Then I meet with each of an individual of you at least 1 hour. We go through the different stuff. Make sure you put your trading plan in place. You're placing those trades and you're good to go. But with strategy I'm really pushing, I'm pushing this one because this one, trust me, look at that, guys. Since I've been talking to you, I've gone up another 65 pounds. This is now 765 pounds. If this thing goes up before the end of this lesson, goes up to £1,000, then I'm taking my profit out. I'm taking my £1,000 out, close everything. All of these losses over here, I don't really care. I just take all of it out. That's my £1,000 done, right? And then what I do now, I wait until next month again, October, I start again. Because I've got my 10%. What I don't need to worry about anything. I've got my 10%, and that's it. So I'm not really bothered. Look, that one. Let me see if there's anything extra on this one. Okay, this one is still down. Okay, right, but overall profit is over £1,191 anyway. Okay, so there are three. So what are your goals and dreams, right? To work, to invest. For me, right, the three key success criteria for me is knowledge, opportunities, and taking action. Because for a lot of people, they will procrastinate. They will say, I want to do this, Marlon. I really want to do well. But then they don't take any action. They're like the same every single day, and they don't take any action whatsoever. But my thing is, look, if this thing means something to you and this thing is something that you want to learn, then I'm going to suggest that you take action. You understand? Now, I am also going to say to you, not because you've seen what I've done there just now, you should go off and do the same. You understand? Because I needed to first learn first, get the knowledge. Once you've got the knowledge, then you look forward to the opportunity that you're going to have, and then you take action. And once you do that, then you're more than likely to do well. But I don't want any of you in this group. And there's this guy, right, who came to me and said, Marley, I want you to teach me. I told him, look, he said he doesn't like groups, so he wants me to do one-to-one. I said, look, what do you want me to teach you? You told me you want all three strategies. Okay, I'll teach you for 5K one-to-one. It was like, that's too much, blah, 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 blah. So then, he signed up where I could trade on his he signed up so I could see his account. The guy deposited 4K into a trading account and wipe it in 1 month, blew it up in 1 month. And I'm like, you could have actually paid. I would have actually given you an installment plan because I know the strategy works and I know you would have done well. And you went and blew that. Plus, he told me you blew how many thousands before. So sometimes people feel like they can go and watch a YouTube video and have to have someone teach them. I'm telling you that, good luck with that. It's not going to happen unless you've got someone who understands. Because if you notice there, I have no worry at all about the stop loss. And why I have no worries? Because guess what? I've done my due diligence. I've done my number of hours that I needed to do in order to improve. And because I've done my hours of practice, then that's the reason why. That's what you're paying for, my experience, to show you how to do it. Now try to change, right? Lifetime of conditioning, right? Knowing and not doing is the same as not knowing. Robin Sharma. How to reprogram your brain. Do stuff like neurolinguistic courses. Think and Grow Rich. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, And these are some of the things I had to do, because if I didn't do these things, trust me, I did a course in neurolinguistic programming because I knew there was something wrong. I would be up $2,000 and then lose all the $2,000 tomorrow. I'll be up $5,000 and lose. I remember, oh my God, I made some money and then lose all of it, man, all the time. But not until I was able to reprogram my brain to say, look, Marlon, you deserve it. When you're going to grow up and you're going to hear, it's easier for a poor man to enter the eye of an eagle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. So money is a bad thing. That's what it's actually saying. But money is good if you know how to do it, you know. So what we've got to make sure that we do is get a right mindset. And let me tell you, this book called Think and Grow Rich, it's a really, really good book. I've listened to it at least 4 times. And every time I listen to it, I get motivated more. I also learn new things. Rich Dad Poor Dad is fine. There's another book as well, which called The Richest Man in Babylon. Now, the essence of the book called The Richest Man in Babylon is about, always pay yourself first. Now, say, for example, your salary after tax is £2,000, right? Now, you take 10% of that, which is £200, and you pay yourself. And once you pay yourself, then what you do is you then start paying your other bills. So you always pay yourself first, no matter what, right? You pay yourself first, put that away. And that money is the money that you're going to use for investment and also for opportunities. Could be, when I say investment, could be putting away to buy a property. Could be putting away to say, invest in some stocks, so it's just different opportunity, buying some stuff on Amazon, creating an Amazon sellers, whatever, and all these other things. Could be a rent to rent setting, you want to basically get in with a landlord and do a rent to rent setup, all of these sort of things. Let me give you an example. What I did was, and this is how I, initially started, I buy properties, right? And I let them out. And all I use is my credit card. And then I pay off my credit card. And then, and I probably pay £2,000 for the 25K. You understand? So it's using different strategies. It's learning and trying different things. But one thing you've got to do, if you're not willing to reprogram your brain and tell your brain that, look, I'm going to do this and you can't stop me, because of course there are two parts to your brain. You've got the subconscious mind and you've got the conscious mind. The conscious mind is saying, look, you know what? It's safe. Just don't worry. Don't place a trade. No, don't do that. That's what the conscious mind is saying. But the subconscious mind, you've got to take control and say, look, you know what? I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And you can't tell me otherwise. And sometimes we've got to fight against it. And of course, as you know, there's a lot of subliminals that's put out there to tell us that we can't do it anyway. So we've got to do it, reprogram our minds. And how we can do that by doing, I paid for a neurolinguistic programming course, and I've paid for a second one that I'm on now. Because every time I feel like, I'm doubting myself and I'm making mistakes, then what I've got to do is I've got to go back and reprogram again. And when I say reprogram, it's not about, say, doing it all over, but it's more about making sure that that process, and we call that process classical conditioning, meaning that you train your brain in such a way that your brain says, look, okay, this is the right thing to do, and it's actually the right thing to do, and you do it. Yeah. Now, what is the Forex trading now? What is Forex now? Guys, we should have finished like 10 minutes ago. I'm just going to do this page, and then we're going to pick up from here next week. Okay, so Forex trading, what is Forex trading? You can trade anywhere in the world. All you need is an internet connection, and you make money when the price goes up or down. So we can make money when the market is going down. This was when we had the coronavirus. And I think this was I think probably NASDAQ or one of them. Because look, that's the reason why I said the strategy I showed you earlier, forget that. It went all up like that. And then when we had the coronavirus, it just collapses like that. And then look, all the way up now. Of course, you got some ebbs and flow, yes. So we could actually do it. But you know what I would say? What I could do, when I get the time, what I have to do, I would have to close out all my trades and then practice on the indices, because it's very time consuming because I've got to look at it. And then if I've got many accounts to close and so on, it could be time consuming. So I'm going to try and do it. I'm going to close out all my trades and then try it on the indices. But I've got to do it on its own. I can't, I can't here and there. I've got to do it like consistently. And then I'll be able to sort of tell you more if the strategy works with that. But anyway, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to come back here next week. I'm going to talk to you. We're going to get to the chart, and we're going to talk about the chart. We're going to talk about the candles, and we're going to talk about different strategies. And I'm going to show you a simple strategy that you can take away next week and use. I should be able to show it to you and also I'll give you an indicator as well, so that you can use in your own trading. But of course, as I said, the crunch is when we get to the point where I'm saying, look, do you want to learn these things more in depth, and so on, and then we move forward. But I'm going to be doing this for the next 3 weeks, But during those 3 weeks, what I need is for you to understand the basic stuff, like a down candle, an up candle, like a supply, what's demand, all of these things. I would love for you to understand. And if you understand these things, then it's going to be easy for me to teach you. Now, anyway, without any further ado, guys, thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much for coming on board today. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all next week, Friday at 7 p.m. And if you've got friends and family who are interested in trading, please do send them the link so they can come and join up as well.
Bless.
Bless, bless, bless.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Yeah. Thank you.